Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. I'm making calf's liver today. Now, there is a lining that goes around each organ that actually keeps them moving around where they don't stick. If that tears, the organs will knit to each other. So there's a very fine lining right here on the edge, all the way around the liver, which is standard. Now it has arteries that run through it, to get the marching orders of what the organs are going to do. Actually, the liver gives them the marching orders. But my mother used to cut that lining off. I'll show you. So my mother would cut all of this off and cut here. Here's where the arteries were, right here. And then she would cut all the lining off around here. So she was left with, she wasted over half of the liver doing this. Well, I leave the lining on, and what I cut out are where the veins, well, actually, let's see, you have the capillaries, the veins run through, because they're pretty large, as you can see. See how large they are? So I want to cut this part out. This will be the only part I cut out because this is really, really tough right here. I'm not lying about it. This is. If you leave it on, you're going to be chewing for a while because these muscles here, the blood came through, so they had to squeeze and do this all the time. So they're very, very tough. So I will cut this little bit out, and that's all. But I will leave a lining that goes all the way around, and I will cut these pieces in half. We'll be doing these up. I'm thinking about using some unusual seasonings on this. Now you see right here, they cut it here, but this is still part of it right here. So this way, we get more liver. So any organ meat that you eat, if you see the lining around it, you understand that that is to protect the organ from actually sticking to the other organs. And the organs move in there. I know you're in the body, right? But the body, these organs actually rub up against each other and all doing their business. Whatever that organ has to do, it does it. Here's a piece I did not see. Okay. This is going to tear. All right. Sometimes they do. Okay, Taffy, come here. One of my cats wants some liver, so I'll give him some liver. 1 minute, I'll get it for you. Taffy? Come on. You can stay with me right here. Come on. I'm only going to give you a little bit. Come on. Right here. He wants it before his brother comes down because he knows what his brother will do. So when you see where the arteries are, by all means cut that section because it's very, very tough. When you have round ones like this, there's nothing you can do. No. Now see, here's one that's going to give me a problem. Look at it. You see how it's running through? It's running through from one end, from here, straight through here, straight through this piece. I can see Bonnie and Winter are going to get a lot of treats today. if it just quits. That wind blowing and hounding. See this one? This piece really had a lot of them. So that's why you should be careful when you're buying your liver, when you're checking for it. Make sure you check for that. You might not be able to get all of it out, but you try to get as much of it out as possible. I'll just cut that one like that. You want to know what this is? See how dark it is at one end? Now this liver could be bleeding, or that could be a freezer burn, but it doesn't feel like a freezer burn, so I think it was more where it was bleeding when they were cutting the liver out. I know that sounds so gross, doesn't it? As long as the animal's dead. By the way, animals, when they kill, they fight for the liver because they know how important the liver is. Now sometimes you'll see a piece like this, which is the end. Just cut this off because that's part of one that was right next to the edge of it coming off the liver. We'll cut this in half. This is going to have to be cut in thirds to get this one off. The reason I'm using a boning knife is I got the point and I can get in close. And that's what I want. I'm not as good as a butcher. I won't even say I am. Okay. Now here's one that's right on the edge. You see that? Right on the edge. Because the arteries go, veins go right through with every other thing to make sure the liver can give its marching orders. When we eat with illness and stuff, or without it, we'd be in trouble. See, a boning knife can get tighter into them. That's what you want. This way, I only waste this much. Well, it won't go to waste, the dogs will get it, but I have this much. When you start cutting that lining off on the outer part, you will find you'll have a lot less liver if you do eat liver. Mostly the veins that run through it are what you're trying to get off. I'm cleaning my knife right now. And my cutting board. And to the person who said when I was making my cabbage, they couldn't see everything I was doing. I was telling you what I was doing because I had a small work area. I tried to maneuver as much as I can to make it as easy as possible for you to see me, but it doesn't always work. So my mother, when she bought liver, she wasted a lot because she was cutting everything off of it. It doesn't work like that. But I have noticed that when I cook the liver, though it has the lining on it, it breaks down very easy. So let me get the other stuff and I'll be back. Okay, I am going to be pouring my discard over the liver and coat it. And since I have a lot of seasoning mixtures, this is my discard. Make sure I'm not taking active. And I'm going to put Za'atar in it. It's got a very unique taste, smell to it. So I'm just going to be pouring this in, just mixing all this up together and see what we come up with. I don't know if it's going to come out well or not, but we're going to find out. Sometimes I take the discard and I'll pour it into a bowl and mix with seasonings. But this time I just, big bowl, I'll just throw it all in and see what we come up with. Let's see if the liver has a unique taste. Make sure you coat your liver if you're using a discard. If you're not, you can, well, I don't know. I like the discard better, but I guess you could use egg or milk or whatever you have. But make sure that you dry your liver off before you add seasonings and stuff, because you'll find that if you leave it wet before you pat it dry, a lot of it will come off and you won't have the flavors that you're looking for. It's just so much fun to play with all these seasonings. And the discard is such a good binder. I mean, it really holds the seasonings on. I think I'll be talking about that forever because they really hold on. I'm going to add some more to them. I want to make sure that they sit in the seasonings. I couldn't even tell you what I put in this. I'd have to go back to my cookbooks and find out what was literally in there because I can't remember. To be honest with you, I would not be able to remember. I just want to make sure all the seasonings are in it, well mixed. And see how it sticks? It doesn't slide off. So when I go to flour these, they'll be sticking very well, holding those seasonings on that I want. But most people use salt and pepper, and I sit there and say, well, why not mix seasonings together and put them on the liver and try different flavors? You know I'm going to go there. Now I have all this excess flour here, but I want to sift it to get all the particles out of it. I have to go shopping. I don't have the stuff for the meals that I want to make. And today's just Wednesday. So see, there's no reason to waste and throw the flour away. You can sift it after you collect it and use it. I like it because I end up with extra seasonings because I never remember what I put in the seasonings from one day to another. Now I have semolina flour, wheat flour here. I'm going to add some white flour to it. Make sure I have enough for what I'm doing. Now liver, like cutlets, chicken, veal, or pork, because the meat is thin, remember it cooks quickly. You don't need it sitting there 20-30 minutes. You just cook it till it's done. will get my frying pan and oil out, and we will get these going. Okay, behind you I'll be flouring the liver because I have you up front because a woman said she couldn't see how I made the cabbage, though I did talk you through it. She wanted to see it. That's gotta go there, that stuff. Alright, I'm going to use some oil that has butter in it. I'm going to add more butter to it. Make sure that my butter flavors in. A lot of people just think oil, but I'm going to throw in like 3 tablespoons of butter. Let it melt in there and have that butter flavor with the oil. And I'm going to have to get things going. I'm behind you just getting stuff together so I can start doing what I have to do. The reason I'm adding extra butter and oil in this, I don't want it to stick, and it will stick. You know it does. It always does. Unless you put enough in. Unless you have a nose stick. Well, if you have a nose stick, then you're doing better than me. Okay? Because I have one for a crepe. I just haven't found a filling that I like for crepe yet. And I'm going to try. I've never made crepes. My husband got me the pan, and he says, you can make crepes. I said, no, I don't like any of this fillings that they put into it. So I'm going to have to find one that I like. And I will be trying my level-headed best not to burn the crepes and make crepes. I also want to sit there and make what is it called? Stuffed cabbage leaves or cabbage rolls with meat in them. I really want to do that. That's something I want to do. But these livers are definitely going to have a butter taste this time. Just to be different. Different seasonings, different this, that. Why not? I like to experiment, what can I say? Though my mother and everybody was on me, you follow the recipes just the way it is, but where I started noticing certain medical issues that was bothering me, I said this and no. I didn't like being sick. My husband didn't like having migraine headaches. And that came from the bombing in Vietnam where he served this country. Well, he didn't serve this country, he served Vietnam, let's say, at that point, because he wasn't on this side. He was over there, though. He did it for the American government. He said, I served this country. I said, how can you be serving this country when they're sending you overseas? You're actually fighting somebody else's war. It's not our war. See how beautiful it holds everything on? This discard really is a beautiful glue to hold seasonings and stuff on. And see, the butter is going to boil like this. It should give it a nice flavor. And what am I going to serve with this? Little new potatoes. They call them butter potatoes, but we used to call them new potatoes. So when I use different terms, it's because I was raised at a different time. And I think instead of doing the onions in this, I'll get, and I might make onion. No, I'm going to put, I like the new potatoes. I think new potatoes would go better with this. You can actually see the seasoning sticking to them, which I love that part. It does not let it go. So I'm going to continue cooking these like this, but I'll do this batch. I'll do 2 batches. I've showed you how to do it. And then I will finish cooking and then show you the end product. And you can see they do not look bad. I love big band music. It is so good. I don't like the new music up today. But I'm bombarded by so much music, I don't even turn music on in the house anymore. Because they blare the radios. We used to, before it was made overseas at China, we had a law that controlled how loud the music could be on our transistors. Yes, that's going back. This is getting hot. Be sure you drain them thoroughly. If you have to add more oil and butter, by all means, do. Oh, this is that long piece, okay. So I'm going to finish up and I'll show you them when they're done. Okay, here it is. That's a lot of liver. Yes, it is. You take care and have a great day today. Stay warm. It's very cold. Bye-bye.